Hurricane Andrew spotlighted several things when it comes to Florida building codes. There was, in fact, a good, appropriately strong building code in place in Southeast Florida when Andrew made landfall. However, it was not well enforced at all, and that was critical to the amount of damage that was caused. In fact, studies done after the storm showed that had the building code been in place and well enforced, we might have seen only half of what was then $19 billion in insured losses, today equal to about $26 billion in insured losses. The other thing that's important to note is those strong building codes that were in place in Southeast Florida were not in place in the rest of the state.
Many of us that are looking at building codes thought that the storm might not be that bad because South Florida had on the books some of the strongest building codes in the country. But unfortunately, we found out in the aftermath that it was devastating. There's certainly a lot of communities where that's true, that we are building stronger than we were before Hurricane Andrew came through, and that building officials and builders are paying more attention. But there are, unfortunately, a lot of other areas where we're not doing that much better. I think really the importance of having a baseline code is the major message. You need a baseline, but then you should be thinking about beyond that, because most places we have some risk. It'll be strong winds, tornadoes, thunderstorms. Now, typically we don't design for tornadoes, but a lot of the kinds of strengthening that we do would protect people on the periphery of a tornado and would reduce losses and help a community be more resilient. If you get into the seismic areas where you've got a big earthquake potential, building better can stave off the kind of widespread damage that would happen if a major earthquake occurred.
In addition to having good, strong codes in place, which we have to have, what Andrew showed us was the importance of enforcement. If the codes are there, but nobody's actually living the codes, nobody's inspecting the properties to make sure that what is on paper in terms of a blueprint, that's a well-designed structure, is actually how the structure ends up being built, that's a problem. Enforcement is key, and that was probably the biggest lesson for the construction industry, the insurance industry, and others who have a stake in the built environment coming out of Hurricane Andrew.